Good morning, America. Good morning, Loose Change. It's your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back. So, y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to talk. It's early in the morning, just got off work, or whatever the case may be. And we're going to vibe for a minute, and we're going to talk about B. Simone. First of all, I just posted a video with the actual clip as well as my response to it, but I could not dare leave it at that. I had about a 6-minute response. This one might go overtime, y'all. Not sure where I'm going to go with this. Not sure if it's going to be a short video, medium video, long video. But y'all know I don't write anything. I freestyle every video I do. So let's get into it. First of all, let's go over who we're actually talking about. We're talking about a man who never got to be at home. We're talking about a man who sacrificed everything, sacrificed his life before he sacrificed his life, as I stated in the video. That he gave everything to the cause, gave all of his energy, all of his time. We're talking about the man, are we talking about the same man who was sprayed by powerful water hoses and stood in the front lines and took that shit like a G? Are we talking about the same man who was bitten by dogs? Are we talking about the same man who spent nights in jail fighting for our freedoms that are endowed to us by God? Are we talking about the man who was shot at? Are we talking about the man who could have easily just said, fuck this is too hard, I give up, but never did? Are we talking about the man that led so many marches through cities that weren't even his city, all over the country? Are we talking about the man that of all the money that was donated to him, he would only keep $10,000, enough for him and his family to live, and would donate the rest of his money to the cause? Are we talking about the man who could have just said, you know what, I'm going home to spend time with my family and therefore not cheat on my wife? Now, do we even know that this shit even happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, tapes. Look at what we're capable of doing with tapes. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody uses TikTok and everybody is able to pretend that they're saying certain parts of movies, y'all. So do we even really know what the fuck we're talking about right now? Are we 100% can with the shit that we're able to do from our own home, and none of us are tech heads. None of us are tech certified. We just have a cell phone. The shit that we are capable of doing on just our cell phone. Are we sure that whatever proof came out that it was actually real? Now, I'm going to give you a great reason why we shouldn't be sure. What that man did to and with his wife ain't none of our fucking business. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I saw when I watched the video. I saw somebody who was looking to make a name based off of a statement. But I saw something else that most people probably didn't see. I saw someone who knew that what she was going to say was foul about Dr. King. So she tried to change the narrative as if she was talking about someone else. Dr. King was not working. He wasn't a CEO of a company, but you tried to change that because you knew that what you were going to say in the context that you were going to say it in was completely foul, because you know everything I said in my first video. That you right now are living off the blood, sweat, and tears of that man, and you knew that shit was foul. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Are we even sure that we're able to make videos with no consequences? That you are able to do that podcast, that you are able to go on Wild and Out, that you are able to crack your jokes on Instagram, that you are able to do all of these things that you have been afforded the ability to do without that man. See, the problem that I have with people who do shit like this is when you in search of it, I'm starting to just believe that these feminine women love emotional pain. Because a woman can go through something and be classy about it, such as Coretta Scott King, and handle it with so much grace, but not you. She, if it was true, was the one who got cheated on. And she handled it with grace, but not you. You seem to be more publicly upset by it than his own wife. Now, let's be real honest. We have 33, I think it's somewhere around 33 to 35 million black people in the United States who all enjoy the freedoms that he was fighting for and that he was able to get us, including yourself, man. And you're willing to basically erase that shit because of something that he may have or may have not done to one person. You're living off of his shit right now. You're living off of his work. You're living off of his life. He gave his life to this shit. Literally came out the door and got popped. They wasn't trying to kill, they were trying to kill only him. There were other black leaders that were out there like Reverend Jesse Jackson. And this man came out the door and was assassinated for you. See, the way I break it down is like this. There are very few people that we can actually say died for black people. People like Medgar Evers. People like Malcolm X. People like Crispus Attucks. Well, he didn't really die for us. But people like Martin Luther King. Died for people to go forward, to move forward. They sacrificed their life for us to move forward. Christians know the story of Jesus. What did he do? Now, am I saying that this man was Jesus? Of course not. I'm sure he made mistakes. Jesus is the only perfect thing to ever walk the face of this earth. But do you really think that what this man did, may have done, allegedly did, to his wife, overshadows everything that you... It just shows what it is that we're dealing with these women. Because he cheated not on you. He didn't cheat on B. Simone. He didn't cheat on B. Simone's mother. He didn't cheat on B. Simone's aunt. He cheated on his wife. That is an issue between them two. And when I say that, I feel like you ladies want to live in each other's pain, that shit has nothing to do with you. But what does have something to do with you is the fact that prior to Mr. King, Dr. King, you couldn't even vote. And now look at where you are now, 60 years later. You are getting the bag. And all of this man's accomplishments go out the door with one mistake. With your perfect ass. With your perfect ass. You've done everything right. You sit back and you talk about, oh, you're not a great father if you're disrespecting the mother. Listen, I am your husband. I am not your father. How I treat my kids and what we go through is a separate thing. We know this. 74% of our kids live in single parent households. But this attitude is why we can't fix that. I can be a good husband, but not a good family man. I could be a good father, but not a good family man. I could have a bad relationship with you because we disagree on everything. But I can still be there for my kids at the capacity that I need to be there for my kids. You said that if he's a bad husband, and is he a bad husband because he cheated? Because this is where we are. If I make a mistake, not even cheating, doesn't even matter what the mistake is. But if I make a mistake, and you stay with me after that mistake, doesn't have to be cheating, whatever. Am I always going to continue being a bad person for making that one mistake? So what happens after that? What happens after that? Now you become just as bad as me because you got to get me back. Let's talk. This is what I do. And his shit lasted 60-something years. If what was alleged actually happened. 60-something years, you're still mad. But all the good shit that has lasted these 60-something years, you completely erase. Now he's not a great man. He's not a great man while you are benefiting from what he did. He's not a great man. Do you think that this don't happen in our households? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you think that this shit doesn't happen in our households every fucking day? That a man goes out, busts his ass, does the right shit, and that woman don't appreciate it? Goes to work, comes home, and walks into yam, 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 yam. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be real. Let's have a conversation about this shit. That's all I've ever been asking. 4 years of me doing this. Let's sit down and have a real life conversation. Let's sit down and have a conversation where you are willing to look at yourself. You are willing to admit that you have something to do. Hey, listen, y'all. Just because you can get married doesn't make you a wife. The word of God says a man who finds a wife has found a good thing. What are y'all doing now? Y'all are telling us what it is that you won't do. You will not do these things anymore. And in the same sentence, you're telling us all the things that we need to do to check your checklist. So I have more sympathy for a woman like Coretta Scott King, who had to hold it down while this man was out fighting for you, fighting for me, fighting for us. And if she got cheated on, allegedly, I have more sympathy for her than I would ever have for you. You get that? You get that? I watch how all of these modern day women are manipulated. For instance, roles are necessary. Roles create structure. This is why we don't have structure in our relationship. You know why? Because we're constantly arguing.